Congress returned to session Monday with a tight deadline to raise the national debt ceiling. If the government is not funded by October 1st, it will shut down. The U.S. Treasury would also exhaust all of its cash reserves and borrowing capacity later next month. For more, let's bring in our CBS News reporter covering economic policy, Sarah Ewall-Wice. Hi there, Sarah. So explain what happens if Congress fails to raise or suspend the national debt ceiling.
Well, if they don't act, and if they don't act soon, they will default. The government will default on its bills and be unable to make payments. And this has never happened before in United States history. I think going back a while, you can say we've always approached this debt limit ceiling, but we've never actually hit it and defaulted. So this is something that lawmakers in Congress are going to need to address, and they need to address it quickly. To put it mildly, what Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said about this is if they do default, then this would be catastrophic, was her word for it. And basically, the United States is coming out of a global pandemic. It is still recovering. It's made strides, but it's still recovering. And at this time, she said, basically, if they do not raise or suspend the debt limit, we will reverse the economic gains we have made and end up back in a recession. More towards the folks who will actually see the impact of this. This will have a direct impact on Americans. If the government can't pay its bills, then folks who receive Social Security payments will not receive those payments. Our troops who are protecting the United States will not be paid. Folks who've come to rely on payments through the child tax credit, those monthly payments that started over the summer, will stop receiving those. So this will impact many people in many ways, but also it has some very long-term consequences that we have not actually seen happen to date so far.
Well, Republican leadership maintains they will not vote to increase the national debt limit, though they did under President Trump. So how do politics factor into this?
Well, if you ask Democrats, they say this is all about politics, really. They point out that the debt limit was suspended or raised under President Trump numerous times. Most recently, it was suspended under President Trump in 2019. That was the 2-year suspension that ended over the summer. But also, if you look at the national debt, it really did balloon under the last administration. With 4 years in office, President Trump going into office, the debt was under $20 trillion. Upon leaving office, it was nearing $28 trillion. And Democrats point to the fact that when this was brought up during his administration, they joined with Republicans to address it. There was a Democrats' control of the House in 2019 when this last came up, and Republicans controlled the Senate most recently. So they are really pushing this and frustrated by it. Of course, if you talk to someone like Mitch McConnell, he'll say they're absolutely not going to budge on this. And Mitch McConnell's minority leader, McConnell's reasoning for this is he points that Democrats have really shut Republicans out of the process. They are pushing that $3.5 trillion reconciliation package. And even today on the Senate floor, he said again that they have done this without any Republican input, and that was by design. They won't get any Republican votes. And with that said, now they're not going to get Republican votes on the debt ceiling. So there is a lot of back and forth in this. There's a lot of politics playing out in this, and also a lot of frustration on both sides.
Yeah, what can we expect to happen now with the debt limit measure being included in a proposed stopgap spending bill?
Yeah, this is actually a gamble by Democrats, really putting the pressure on by putting this as a part of that temporary spending measure that'll keep the government running through the end of the year. If they don't pass a spending measure called a continuing resolution, the government runs out of money at the end of the month. So they're tacking this onto that. And this really puts the pressure on Republicans to decide how they're going to vote on this. Essentially, if they vote against it, then they're voting for a government shutdown. And on the record with that vote as well. So this is something that they're putting pressure on. There are also some different mechanisms within that government continuing resolution that are specifically going to be problematic for some Republicans to vote against should they do so because of the debt limit being a part of it. And one of those is the funding specifically to help relocate Afghan refugees. I think there's broad support from Republicans and Democrats to help our allies who helped us during the war in Afghanistan. There's billions of dollars in funding in this short-term measure to help with their relocation. That is something, if Republicans vote against the debt ceiling, they're also voting against. And another thing that is in this continuing resolution moving forward will also be the money for helping with natural disasters. There's billions of dollars in this for natural disasters, including Hurricane Ida. That was the hurricane that just less than a month ago devastated parts of the United States, all the way from Louisiana all the way up through New York City. We saw that horrific flooding video. So this is really something that some Republicans, even if they don't want to vote for the debt ceiling, raising the debt ceiling, they're going to have to put their vote towards potentially not helping their constituents with recovery funds if they do so. So this really is a challenge for both sides moving forward, and they've got 10 days to figure this out and see if they have the support, one, to keep the government running, but two, also Republicans having to come down and decide where they're going to stand on this and whether it'll be worth their vote against.
All right, that deadline is looming. Sarah Ewall-Wice for us. Sarah, always good to have you. Thank you.
Of course.